Hello and welcome to another Beer Ramble by me, Reality. Here we have a very special, interesting beer. This is a Dark Star, which is a brewery in Partridge Green. That was bought by Fuller's and bought by Ashley, which bought Fuller's. So I'll get into that in a minute. But this is a rebrew of Prize Old Ale by Gale. Gales, which no longer exist, but they were bought by Fuller's in 2006, I believe. And there's been a few different brews since, generally, but it's never been in production really since around 2006, 2007, when they closed the brewery, I think in 2008. I've had various vintages in the past. This is one of my dad's favourite beers. I've tried the Marble version, which was 2018 or 2019, where they worked with Fuller's to produce a version using leftover beer that Fuller's had stored. Because this is a blended ale, you would traditionally blend the last batch with a new batch. It's a historic style of beer that has mainly gone out of favour. And to see this is incredible. So this is done by Henry who's the head brewer at Dark Star, with collaboration I think with Fuller's, but even Fuller's own them. And basically on the back it says, while out exploring, Dark Star has rediscovered an old batch of the classic fruity strong dark ale. We brewed a fresh batch, matching the recipe and blended the two together. What we have created is truly out of this world. So this is 9%. I bought this yesterday from Dark Star because I live very near. I could walk to Dark Star. And unfortunately, on Thursday, there was an announcement that actually are going to close the Partridge Green Brewery and move production to Meantime in London, which is really sad because, as I said, like Dark Star is in walking distance. They are the brewery that got me into beer. Espresso, it's the first brew I bought at them when I'm 18 and I'm now 30, so it's a real shame. They were in a different location. Dark Star started in 1984 in a pub in Brighton and then moved to a local village and then again moved to Partridge Green over 10 years ago. So it's a real blow to the village and a real blow to the people I know there, especially Les, who works at the shop and I've known for years and is such an awesome person. So this is a real shame, but I'm really excited to try this. And I really hope that Fuller's or Dark Star somehow they can continue to brew this and continue to keep this tradition alive because this is such a traditional style of beer that's gone. You used to have Thomas Hardy and so on. Marble do an old ale, More Beer do an old ale. I think there's a few others, but the style doesn't really exist anymore. There's multiple types of old ale styles. Now this is really turning into a ramble. It's like the Sussex old. So you have the Harveys, you have the Hepworth, which WJ King and Barnes would have made it before they were bought by Badger. But so that's a lower percent, sort of 4% beer, which is very different than what this is. This is very similar actually to Yorkshire Stingo, because Stingo is the ancestor to this. The recipe is based on Stingo, the original Gale's ale a long time ago. So there's a lot of history in it, and like the old Michael Jackson beer books has been on the Gale's ale, probably can't see, and then you've got your Roger Potts book as well, and it's a lot of history in it, and Dark Star closing after working so hard to bring this back is anyway, let's open this or attempt to. I might have to cut here if I can't get into it, but I think we're going to manage, which is good. So yeah, so it's waxed. These are all hand waxed by Henry, which is pretty awesome. I've got my old glass that I like to use for these styles of beers, although people probably moan that it's not the correct glass, so I don't really care. So it's sort of poured, quite carbonated. Has a head, nice sort of brown mahogany sort of colour. Yeah, it smells amazing. So it smells tart, slightly sour, sort of Flanders reddish. You know. Oh, that's incredible. Wow, that's for a British beer. That's insane. I've never had original fresh prize old ale. I've had the marble version. They were aged in different wine and other barrels. So this is the closest, excuse me, I've ever had to drinking this fresh. And it is incredible. It's so well balanced. It's fruity, it's tart, it's acidic. There's a slight woodiness. Definitely some horseman. It is, this is, yeah, this is my beer of the year. Just because I did not expect this out of Dark Star. I did not expect, yeah, I really want blended beers to be back. I want people to be making these kind of styles of beers. They're very difficult to make. Like barrel aged beers are amazing, but truly blending and doing all this kind of stuff it's a lost art. So yeah, it's fruity tart. I've got this about ambient weather temperature, so maybe 11 degrees or so. This version isn't bottle conditioned. I bought 4 bottles. I wish I bought more. Seeing how good this is, I want to keep one for 5 years because originally 5 years was meant to be the sweet point, where it went from this sort of tart thing to more of a cognac. And so yeah, I'll keep one for 5 years. I might drink another one this year, or share it with friends, and then the other 2 I will drink. The other one even. Wait, I don't know. I'll drink eventually. So yeah, that is Dark Star Prize Old Ale. It's fantastic beer. I really hope this can continue to be brewed in some form, because resurrecting this is such an amazing bit historically, because these sort of old ales used to have Thomas Hardy and others as well, really don't exist anymore in the UK, and it's a real shame. And I feel like with all the craft beer and everything in the UK, this is something that we've historically had and is really craft. And it really would be lovely to see more breweries producing these styles of beer. So yeah, I'm really sad about my local brewery closing and moving to London, but oh well. So yeah, cheers. That was Dark Star Prize Old Ale, and thank you for listening or watching this ramble.